I mean, I know Disney has been making live action remakes of all their classic animated movies, but WALL-E? Why would you do WALL-E? This isn't that?
You have a visitor.
Wow.
You clean up pretty good yourself. You went shopping.
I went shoplifting.
You two look fine this evening.
We're on a date.
Very nice.
Took you long enough to ask.
I was giving you space.
Oh, space. The one thing I do not need more of.
Passengers stars Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence as a couple deep space travelers looking to colonize another planet, but things don't go quite how they planned. Will you be along for a wonderful ride? Well, here's 5 things about Passengers. Let's start with this. It really is hard to go wrong when you've got Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt in your movie. They're good at what they do. They're so likable. They're so charming. And not only that, they're good together here. I think their chemistry works really well, and I wouldn't mind seeing them together in other projects. Of the two of them, Jennifer Lawrence gives the standout performance. I mean, Pratt's great, but she continues to do amazing work in kind of mediocre to good films. I think of The Hunger Games, those kind of things. She has moments in here where she's dealing with stuff that you can't even hardly comprehend, and yet you believe everything she's putting on the screen. It's really kind of spectacular, and the movie benefits from it quite a bit. Another thing I really loved about this is I love the vision it has for space colonization. There are some really big ideas here that seem well thought through about how that would work, how transporting people over hundreds of years to get to a new place at half-light speed. Like, you get the sense they really thought about the details in this world. And because of that, it feels like a real world to me. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed thinking with them about what that would be like and how that would work. So I think the movie does well in that area. The other thing I really enjoyed during this movie are the visual effects. Absolutely stunning. I mean, it's almost a given anymore with science fiction movies, with the technology we have, that it's going to be breathtaking and beautiful. But I thought this was another level, at least a notch up. Some of the gravity effects, some of the fire effects, some of the things that happen in this space travel, I thought were really cool and really visualized well. I'll admit it though, the main reason I love this movie is because it gets me at a core level. I love movies that give you what would you do moments. And this movie has several of them. Those moments where it's not an easy answer and you have to think about, oh, but if I did this, then this would happen. Should he do this? Should she do this? My wife and I talked about it all the way home and kind of discussed what would we do in that situation. For me, that makes a really great movie-going experience because my brain is always engaged in thinking things through. I can forgive a lot of the other sins if my brain is intellectually engaged, and this movie did that. Speaking of sins, there are a few in this movie. Most of them kind of minor, but one major one that brought it down for me. This movie gives into its soap opera tendencies a little bit too much. You can especially feel it in the romance. It feels overdone, over the top, a little bit drawn out. And so it makes the movie kind of drag in those places because you're like, I get it. They connect well. Their chemistry works. You don't have to make that over the top for me to believe that it's going on. And because of that, I do think the movie suffers quite a bit. Overall, though, I think this was a really great movie-going experience for me. Because my brain was engaged, because I liked what I was looking at, I had a good time, good enough to give it a B+. All right, on to the best ever challenge here in a bit. But first, I want to let you know, if you want to connect more, please do. Look me up on social media. Find me Twitter, other places as well. Just search for my name, Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. Also subscribe to the podcast if you want to. It's SiftPop, SiftPop. We do a weekly pop culture podcast, have a lot of fun talking about movies, television, and all sorts of pop culture. So if you do podcasts, you should look that up. And as always, if you want to subscribe to YouTube, please do it. You can look at other videos, support the channel, all that stuff by hitting the info button right up in this corner. All right, on to the best ever challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. Let's just go big. What is the best science fiction movie ever? Should generate some good discussion. For me, it has to be the one where the main character's name is 3 letters long and also an anagram for his role in the movie. Take a guess at mine in the comments. Leave your choice there as well. And as always, the first person to get mine right does get a point. Here's 5 extra seconds to hit the subscribe button. In case you want to subscribe, just click the logo right down in this corner.